One, we are going live. Oh no.
Yes.
Hello.
Are we live?
Yes, we are live.
Hello.
Yes.
Hello, guys.
Good evening, everybody.
Hello, everyone.
Hyvää iltaa.
Hyvää iltaa. Yeah, I was going to say that, but you're not
on the screen now.
Yeah, you're not on screen yet. Welcome back after a week because we had the last week off because we had some stuff to do and we had a course last weekend, so we were a little bit busy. But this week we are here again with a friend of mine from Finland. His name is Esa. His name is Esa, but is not related to European Space Agency. I'm sure they are having fun with him. We will ask about that. So how are you guys who are here? I don't know, I cannot see the chat yet.
So Nazım is here, Sedat Bilgebay. Hello, guys.
Yeah.
Welcome, everyone.
So
we
say
have
something.
like
Say something, guys.
so we have like 10 people. So it's going up, yeah, 11 now.
Yeah.
Right.
Awesome.
So how are you guys? OKAN.
Yeah,
John?
you're asking
Why are
us.
you
Okay.
silent? Yes. Of course I'm asking you.
Yeah, I'm feeling very good actually. It's been a week off for the live streams, but yeah, we came back again and everything looks great so far.
Mm-hmm.
How are you guys feeling?
Yeah.
I'm okay.
We had to give a break since we had a course last weekend, both on Saturday and Sunday. Landscape astrophotography theory, and then on Sunday, Lightroom post-processing course. And now we're back. Feels good to be back on live stream.
Ben Soysal, hi all. Andis'teki iyi yayınlar. So, okay, then
Bensan Soysal is actually Emre Soysal.
Yes,
yeah,
I know.
Okay.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Cool.
So, let's start with the intro, and
Okay.
then we will welcome Esa.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
All right then.
Hyvää iltaa.
Good evening, Esa. Welcome.
Good evening. Welcome, Esa.
Welcome. So, do people ask you about your name, European Space Agency?
It's not related, but I actually had planned to make a T-shirt about it. It was very trendy to have a NASA T-shirt a few years ago, and I thought I steal the design from NASA and just fix the text to ESA.
Yeah. Yeah. And Esa is my friend, and we had a week in Finland together with two other Finnish people. I don't know if they're watching, Mikko and Oli. And what a coincidence. Today, I mean, 10th of March 2019 was the day I flew to Helsinki, and today is the day that we met, and we went out for a dinner And the next day was Monday, and we set for Lapland on Monday morning. Right, Esa? It's a very, very interesting coincidence.
Yeah, that is correct. What a coincidence! And one day from this point, it's 2-year anniversary that you saw your very first Northern Lights.
Yeah, actually, and I forgot to bring something. I was going to show the socks that you gave me. Milky Way socks.
Milky Way socks, like
sock.
They have design, like Milky Way design.
No. To tell about it. So what was that? It is like wool.
Yeah, woolen socks.
Yeah.
We wanted to give Mustafa a gift when he came to Finland, and I asked my friend to make woolen socks.
Yeah.
It has Milky Way written in them.
That's pretty nice.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay, Esa. So how have you been? How was stuff in Finland, the COVID and everything?
Thanks for asking. I think it's relatively good here in Finland, since we're a small country and people are already afraid of each other. We don't hang out very closely to our friends, so yeah. I think we're pretty good.
Yeah, I have a friend in Denmark, and he told me that Danish people were saying they hope the COVID ends very soon, so they would go back to 5 meters social distancing.
Yeah, that's good one.
That's their usual social distancing. So yeah, so it is like 5.5 million people there in Finland, right? You were telling me that the number of COVID cases were increasing, and you were going to have some lockdowns.
Yeah, that is correct. They started on Monday, so for next 3 weeks we have pretty much everything closed.
Wow. That's
for how long?
Intense.
For next 3 weeks.
3 weeks. Yeah.
We have had like 600 new cases per day. 2 weeks ago it was like 300 to 400. So it has been increasing quite a lot lately. Hope this helps.
Yeah. So what's the total population of Finland, by the way?
5.5 million.
5.5 million. Yeah, the numbers are actually a lot for the total population.
Yeah.
By the way, you can ask questions to us, to Esa, during the live broadcast. And Esa's social media is also written, thanks to Nazım. So go follow him for some amazing aurora photography. So Esa, how did first of all introduce yourself a little to us? What are you doing? What's your job and stuff like that? Where do you live in Finland? And then how did it start with astrophotography and aurora? Of course, aurora photography is should come naturally, because you can even see aurora in Helsinki from time to time. But how did it happen in general?
I started photography like 8 or 9 years ago. It's been a while, and I ended up to astrophotography when I was still learning photography. I tried different stuff what I wanted to photograph, and at some point I found Milky Way photo, and first I thought it was some sci-fi illustration, But then I noticed a pattern that it was the same in many other photos, and then I started realizing that, all right, this is the real thing and it's on the sky. How can I photograph that? So that's how it started. I'm kind of a jack of all trade what comes to photography, because I'm working on IT industry, so I don't need to get money for photography, and I do stuff what I found interesting when it comes to photography. I have doing my own exhibitions. I have photographed weddings, families, children, employee photos, food photos, like everything what comes to mind. But I'm the longest thing I have had passion for photography is astrophotography. It has followed so many years now.
Yeah, but interestingly, you only are into let's say wide field astrophotography. You didn't go into deep sky astrophotography, right?
Not yet.
No.
I have a small tracker though, so I could give it a try.
Yeah.
But so far I haven't gotten into that. I have a friend who's doing deep sky shooting for real, and I've seen the gear. It's massive amount of money that you can spend, and
actually
it's a whole new world.
Is our common friend Nico you're talking about. So I think it was the first time that you went to the observatory in Helsinki, right? The day we went there. By the way, Oli is here. Oli is here, and he has a question. I think this is for you, Esa. Where do adult male Milky Way chasers usually meet?
They usually meet at Simpukkaluola. It's located in Morocco, actually. That's place where adult men meet.
Yeah.
After the sun has set.
Yes, you were there. I think in 2019 or 2018 with Oli, Mikko, and you. Right?
It was 18 or 19, I think.
Yeah.
Time flies. I don't remember anymore.
It must have been 18 because 19 March I was there, and when I was in Finland, you were already there, so it should have been 18. Yeah.
Yeah, that is actually correct. Because I have a birthday in 1 week, and we came back from Lapland when it was my birthday, and when we went to Morocco, the first day was my birthday, so it was 18.
Yeah, guess so. Okay, so Tuja, hey, I finally made it. I hope I didn't miss much. No, you didn't miss much yet.
We just started, actually.
Murat Helvacıoğlu is here. He says hi, everyone.
Hello, Murat. Adult male, what, why? So, Oli, answer this question, what and why? So, let's have a look at the slides, guys.
Okay.
So, let's start with having a look at it, and maybe, so this is Esa. We actually have lots of funny pictures from Lapland, but to keep it short, I mean this presentation, I just put one and Esa put another, so we'll see those. So let's see the introduction one also. There is a beautiful photo from Esa. Where was this one, Esa?
This was from Kouvola, the city I was born, and I've been living in Helsinki for around 5 years for now. And that was actually what what comes to my birthdays, this was taken on my birthday as well.
What is the name of the state? Sorry, once again.
Kouvola.
Okay. Kouvola.
Yeah. Kouvo means bear. It's not the. It's like alternative word for bear in Finnish, so it's
Karhu. Karhu also means bear, and otso.
Yes, that is correct.
See, I remember lots of Finnish words.
Yeah, you do.
And remember, the house that we rent was in Otso something, because there was a sign showing Otso. I remember that. Anyways. Yeah. So is that you in the photo?
Yes, that's me, and there was a huge rock on the foreground, and I was standing on it. I'm not usually as tall as trees are.
Mm-hmm. Oops, I'm sorry. Okay, so let's skip to number 3. Yeah, so like every other astrophotography type, if you are doing Milky Way photography, or if you are doing deep sky astrophotography, or planetary or whatever, there always has to be a preparation and planning, right? How do you do the planning for aurora astrophotography?
First thing is location. Finland is kind of good country to photograph stars and northern lights, since it's a small country and there's not too much light pollution. But location is extremely important. That you have to have some good, cool stuff on the foreground, and you have to go away from light pollution. Usually I go like 15 kilometers from town centers, and that should be enough. And obviously weather forecast is pretty important, because if there's clouds on the sky, you cannot see auroras or stars. That's pretty basic stuff.
Yeah.
And then there's
but the little bit of clouds is okay, because even when I was there, we had some clouds last night, and if they are not thick, big clouds, you can see aurora and stars, and it actually gives another good effect to photos with aurora, right?
Yeah, that is correct. And also, when we're shooting stars, we want to go out on new moon, but when we're shooting auroras, moonlight doesn't really bother you, because it can light up the foreground pretty cool, like in this photo. It was full moon, and it was shining from the behind, right?
Yeah. We also actually, when I was there, we picked a date where there was near the half moon, so that, like you said, it could illuminate the foreground. That would give us a chance to shoot fast aurora, because when the aurora is fast, you should keep your exposure time very short.
Yeah.
So it is good to have some moon in the sky, on the contrary to other type of astrophotography.
Yeah. All right, let's continue.
Yeah. So our forecast is also important. I'm sure there are things that you want to say. If you can go to slide number 5. Let's start with 5. So yeah, what do we look at? Because there are websites that you can see, right? The parameters. What parameters you're looking at for that?
And there's few different things to consider. Can you go one slide back? There's that KP index. It indicates how strong the auroras are and how far south they reach. Usually there's like KP2 to KP3, so northern parts of Finland are covered by the auroras, but there's plenty other stuff that affects are they visible or not. I can link to chat. There's few sites where you can see these aurora forecasts, and when you consider when it's good time to go shoot auroras, first thing is obviously the weather. Next thing is that is there auroras on the sky, and if solar wind factors go down and density goes up, then it's very good night to go out.
Yeah,
That's the short story, and I'm not that technical guy into those meters.
Okay.
But usually when the KP index is enough to cover where you're located, then you should give a try at least if the sky is clear.
So there's one question: is it possible to see the aurora in Germany? I believe it is from time to time.
Occasionally, and I think it's very rare.
Yeah.
But technically, yes, because there has been KP6 and KP7 magnetic storms. So technically, yes, but it's very, very unlikely.
Yeah, and also they are faint because I have a friend in UK. He is in Newcastle, so he has seen aurora once, but it was really, really weak. We faint. It looked like light pollution, so it didn't look like anything looked like aurora, because when the aurora is this is one of the question people always ask, did you see like in the photo? Yes, if it is strong, like the last night we were in Lapland, you can see it very, very beautifully, and the colors and everything. But if it is not so strong, then it is like a gray light pollution in the sky, right?
It's like a weird shaped clouds if they're not strong.
Yeah.
And if they're not very strong, you can easily mix them up with clouds, because if you can see them in northern sky above horizon, it's hard to say if they're northern lights or not. But usually when you take a photo, you can say it in the color. Is it northern lights or just normal clouds?
Yeah, that's why, if you remember, we were stopping and taking a shot, few seconds shot, if there was aurora yet or not, the last night. And actually, I don't remember the name of the place that we went to in the second night, where there was the stream. The aurora was so weak. Do you remember the name of the place, Esa? Let me see if I can find it. That was also weak, but it was seen like a light pollution.
Yeah. Actually, it was Akasmülle.
Yeah, Akasmülle. Yeah, That's the place. So yeah, most of the time people ask if they are seen like that, and they also ask. People say that they hear it. Is it possible to hear the sound of aurora, or is it like a?
I think it's actually legend that you can hear it when you're in middle of nowhere and it's minus 20 degrees. There might be some frosty noises, or I don't know. I really don't think that you can hear them.
Yeah, me too. Because even that night, the last night that we were in Palastunturi, right? We were hearing people from the hotel nearby. They were screaming and shouting because the aurora was amazing. Even you guys were saying that you haven't seen an aurora like that before. I mean, Miko was saying something like that. So it was brilliant. It was just on top of us. So and we were not hearing anything other than screaming people.
I'm not sure if it was people from the hotel that was screaming. I think it was you actually. You were screaming. Just kidding. Just kidding.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. We were screaming.
We were nearby one hotel, and people came out from the hotel and they screamed.
Yeah. They were screaming "Haapala."
Yeah, I really wonder what that means.
I don't know. You're the Finnish one, not me. Haapala. So yeah, tell us about that movie, Esa, a little.
Yeah, so we rent a cottage that had a DVD player. No one really has those nowadays, but that cottage did. And then there was this one very classical, not very good movie, Poika ja Ilves, and there was bad guy Haapala in that movie, and we told Mustafa that
no, you didn't. No, you didn't. That's what I made up. That's what I made up, actually. And the name of the movie is actually The Boy and the Lynx.
Yeah, but yeah, translated Boy and the Lynx. Yeah, we told that Sami people go out when they see northern lights and they scream Haapala. And then Mustafa sent WhatsApp messages for his friend that he read from news that there's this weird tradition that people go out and yell this Haapala when northern lights appear.
Yeah, actually, Sami people, I mean, in Turkey, people maybe will know as Lapon people, Laponian people, call Aurora Revontulet, right? And Revontulet means, do you know that?
Yeah, it's actually it's two words. Revontulet. Repo is actually fox, and tulet is flames.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So I don't know the history for the word itself.
Yeah.
But there's plenty of northern mythology considering the northern lights. People have believed that it's a bridge to heaven, and when gods are talking, they make northern lights, and it's a way to communicate with normal people. There's plenty of different believings.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay. So, what is the best season? What is the best month for Aurora? You know, seeing Aurora and Aurora.
Technically, it's from autumn to spring, but when we're in Finland, you have to consider the weather conditions. In winter, it's usually cloudy. Same thing in autumn, but spring is the best season when it comes to weather. But actually, there's one photo in this presentation also that it's shot on August, so you can really see auroras.
Which one?
Let me check.
I think number 7, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And also that photo which was in preparations slide, it's shot on the same day actually, but totally different location.
Yeah.
But yeah, because we're in so north, summers are very light, and during midsummer the sun doesn't set at all. So that really prevents us seeing stars during the summer, and same goes for auroras.
Yeah, because you have very short nights and during the summer.
Yeah, but if there's people who would travel to Finland to see northern lights, I'd say March and April are the best months.
Yeah, that's why I was there on March. Yeah, and for instance, March is like spring for Turkey. The weather starts to get a little bit warmer and stuff like that. But in Lapland, we have seen it was minus 35 one night when we went to Akasmullu. Actually, it was so cold.
It was super cold.
It was super cold.
Here in Helsinki during winters, we have like -0 to -10. Today it's actually -8 degrees, so -25 is pretty damn cold.
Yeah, I remember it was like -27 in the car, but with the wind and everything, it was around -35 because it was what you guys were saying. And I remember at what moment you guys stopped taking shots and you went to the fire. There was a fire there. So it was bitterly cold, I would say. So tell us about equipment, Esa. What equipments do we need for aurora photography?
First of all, we need decent camera.
What do you mean by decent camera? And if we can go, we are already there. Yeah, slide number 6. What do you mean decent camera? For instance, I have a good cell phone. Is it decent?
Well, that depends, because we have to use manual settings because it's so dark. So anything goes with manual settings, and when we're shooting in dark, we need to raise our ISO value, and that's where the gear comes up. If you have poor camera, it can't take the high ISO values, and there's plenty of noise in the photos. But the most important thing is that you have manual settings.
Yeah.
So most of old pocket cameras are not.
Yeah.
But
so it should be a DSLR or mirrorless camera. Yeah, you could say.
Yeah, pretty much. That's enough for it. Then we have lens. I'd say we should have wide lens. It's not like you have to have wide lens, but it's easier to shoot auroras with wide lens because they can move pretty quickly and they can cover up whole sky, and we want to photograph them as good as possible. So wide lens is fairly important. And also because we're shooting in the middle of night and it's dark, then we want our lens to be fast, so big aperture.
Yeah. So with lower f ratio, actually, you mean maybe we should explain to our viewers.
Yes.
Best lens means lens with lower f number or f ratio.
Yes, that is correct.
Yeah.
And since we're in north and in dark, that means it's usually cold, and we have a camera that is using electricity.
Yeah.
Then we need also batteries, because batteries die faster in cold conditions.
Yeah.
Yeah, especially Sony cameras, old ones. I don't think they have nowadays that issues, but A7 II and III still had the issues with batteries. Actually, when I was 1 year ago in Norway with my friend, he had that Sony A7 II, I think. Yeah. Mm-hmm. He took one photo and 5 seconds of video, and the battery died.
Yeah.
Wow.
And it was charged, yeah, from 100 to 0.
Wow.
So that
that's crazy.
But it was minus 30 degrees, so it was super cold.
Yeah.
Also. And all right, let's continue to tripod.
Yeah.
It's the most important equipment we have, because if you have a camera, you can technically take the photos, but if you don't have a tripod, you can't. But if you forget your camera, then it's obvious that you cannot take photos. So if you forget your tripod at home, it pisses you off more than you forget your camera or memory card.
Yeah. True. And
that's nice.
Our friends say, they can use cars. You can put your camera on the car, because we had a conversation like that in our one of our live broadcasts. But in Lapland, you cannot find a car. It's only snow and some buildings like this. So there are no cars. So you take your tripod with you.
Yeah. And then you better get enough clothes with you when you go out and shoot auroras or stars in Finland, because it's super cold. It's not like you can manage a few minutes outside when it's cold, but if you're exposing one photo for 10 seconds and you take tens or hundreds of photos, you will get cold.
Definitely. Yeah. Like I said, I remember how cold it was. So I even had to put some pocket warmers in my boots that night when the weather was minus 35. But I was still cold. It is really cold. I mean, it bites you, really, literally.
Yeah.
So it is very important. And for instance, we have, of course, we also have winter here in Turkey. Nowadays it's cold, but it's not cold like that. Trust us. I mean, people from Turkey will think that they will do it, but they won't. So let's talk about this photo. This photo was actually the first aurora I have seen, because it is from the first night that we arrived in Lapland. We went to the house that we rent, the cottage we rent. We had some stuff to eat, and then we headed out. And this was the first aurora I have ever seen. So it was beautiful moment.
Yeah, and we got the question about can you see auroras with your bare eyes? This is a good example how it may look, because it looks like there's green clouds in the skies. The auroras were not super strong, so we had to use pretty long exposure time to take the photos.
Yeah.
So they move all the time in the sky, and the longer you exposure the photos, the more they manage to move during the photo, and they lose the texture.
Yeah, there's a good question actually, and there are other things. In Lapland, I would find a stone troll and ask him nicely to hold the camera for me if she forgets her tripod.
Yeah,
So, yeah.
the stone trolls are usually pretty nice.
Mhm.
You have to treat them well.
Yeah. So Emre asks, if everywhere is covered with snow, how do you ensure your tripod stays where it stays without getting deep in snow? You cannot make sure it.
Yeah, there's usually ice layers under the snow, so you can really stick up the tripod to snow and it should stay up.
Yeah. Yeah, actually, the last night, the place we went, actually, the snow was very deep, but some part
Yes.
of the snow was frozen. I mean, on the top of the snow was frozen, so you could walk and you could put your tripod without getting deep in the snow. But there are some parts of the snow which was softer, so you would go deep. All the way down to your waist, right?
Yeah, that is correct. I think there was like 1.5 meters snow. Every third step I took, I fell in the snow like knee deep. But
Yeah.
a few times I fell into snow until my waist. And there was one fallen tree that was wind was covering the tree, and the snow was packed around the tree, and you could see the ground, and I think it was like 1.5 meters layer of snow. And there was, I think there's many of those ice layers on the snow surface, and new snow rains over the ice, and there's several layers. But I strongly recommend, if you go to mountains, you take snowshoes with you.
Yeah. They are called hedik in Turkish, and it's actually from Norwegian, right? Or
I don't know, perhaps.
yeah, I remember talking about this when I was there. They are called hedik, and I think that word is from Norwegian. Anyways, so yeah, clothing is important. And what should be the settings? So number 7, slide number 7, for shooting aurora, Esa.
Yeah, this really depends on the strength of auroras. If there's strong auroras, you can use like a half-second exposure. And if there's very weak dim lights, then you can use like 10 seconds. And you should use pretty big aperture, meaning the f value. Usually the biggest your lens can offer. And like I mentioned earlier, we are using reasonably big ISO values. So I'd say if there's huge auroras this night, I'd use 0.5 seconds, f4 and 1600 ISO.
Yeah, something like that.
And if you have good camera, you can use 3.2K or 6.4K ISO as well.
Yeah. No. And preferably you would use a full frame DSLR camera, because you need the high dynamic range of the full frame camera, and ISO high ISO settings for from the full frame camera. That would be better to have instead of a crop sensor camera, right?
Yes. When it comes to full frame cameras, I think the dynamics are better than in crop sensors, but as long as you have the manual settings and tripod, you should be okay.
Mm. Yes. By the way, we do something as we ask our viewers to take selfies and put on Twitter with our hashtag StellarXperiences. We would like you to do that. Not you, I mean the viewers. So let's go to slide number 8.
There's one question.
Is there? Sorry. Wow.
Oh yeah, it's
some hours must quite be right then. Yeah, they are.
Yes, and if you compare aurora photos to Milky Way shots, the auroras are actually quite bright, and it may surprise some people. Even where in middle of nowhere in total darkness, auroras and moonlight are actually pretty bright.
Yeah,
and it also affects the photo. If there's moon on the sky, it illuminates the foreground.
Yeah. So Emre also asked, does having a modified camera red sensitive have any positive negative effects on aurora shooting?
Not that I know. I think it's more for the deep sky shooting.
Yeah. I don't think you could use that for aurora if you don't have UV IR cut filter. I think it would look weird. I don't know.
If you have a just hydrogen alpha sensitive camera, not like the full spectrum, I think you can use it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Okay. So here we see actually this is 2 years ago today in Helsinki. After I arrived, we went out for dinner. So we see Mikko and Oli, Esa, and me, of course. We were having some hamburgers.
Yeah, I have lost some weight.
Yeah, you actually lost some weight since then. Yeah. What was the name of this place?
It's Nordic Burger.
Yeah, Nordic Burger. Yeah. It was something like the what was the name of the Iso Omena or something like that? Green apple.
Yeah. Big apple.
Ah, okay. Big apple. Emre says, okay, thanks. Now let's talk about Finnish food. Yeah, let's talk about Finnish food. I actually had some pictures, but I didn't want to make any not nice slides, so I didn't put. I will send you in private, Emre. Tell about the Finnish food, Esa.
we eat reindeers and licorice and rye bread.
Yeah, that's it.
That's about
That's
it.
it. That's about it. Yeah, and also salmon. And this guy Mikko is our friend. He even doesn't like fish. I mean, what kind of Finnish doesn't like fish?
Yeah. Yeah, and I actually nowadays I'm vegan, so I don't eat meat. We have pretty extreme dishes like bear meat and reindeer and
Yeah.
I went to Tampere many years ago, and I ate reindeer.
Yeah, it
was
would be shame if you
first
didn't.
yeah,
but
it's
Yes, it was.
Yeah, continue.
Like I think it was 7-8 years ago almost. We went to Tampere from Germany for like 4 days, and first time I had reindeer was in Tampere. As far as I remember, it's a lean meat without any fat, like very little. Yeah, I mean it was interesting.
Yeah. So Emre continues about food and drinks. Maybe there is no raku in Finland then. Raku is the traditional alcoholic drink in Turkey, Esa. So I think you have vodka, right? Finnish vodka. Is that
Yeah.
your national kind of alcoholic drinks?
I think national alcoholic drink is cheap vodka. We actually have pretty good beer culture in Finland.
Yeah.
People think that Germany is a home of beer, but I think Finland is doing actually really good nowadays. That there's so many
you start a new discussion.
microbreweries.
You start a new discussion. Is Germany or Finland home of beer? A new discussion.
Yeah. The topic of StellarTalks is
Yeah. Well, we have
changing.
topics. We have topics between Greece and Turkey. That they say this belongs to us. We say this belongs to us, and stuff like that. So yeah, but more or less, Finnish food is like fish. There is one famous salmon soup, right? And there is salted reindeer, which is prawn karistis, and which is actually good. Oli cooked one evening for us, but I don't think there is more special food in Finland, is there?
There are some, but let's stay in the astrophotography.
Yeah. Okay. So actually, we are almost done with astrophotography, but let's go to slide number 9. Yeah. So this is the ice hotel, snow hotel. Where was this? Do you remember the name of the place?
Actually, I had to Google it, but it was actually in Ylläs.
Yeah.
The same time we were in, and there's plenty of hotel rooms. Actually, they're carved into the ice, and there's beds and benches and tables covered of ice. And that year's theme was Game of Thrones, and there was those Game of Thrones characters carved on the walls.
Yeah, every room had different theme, different character from Game of Thrones. So this was the dining room, actually, a dining table with made of ice and chairs made of ice. So it was a really good experience for me. But it was something like 20 euros, right? But I could say it was one of the best 20 euros I spent.
Yeah, it's pretty unique experience, especially if you're from Turkey. You don't see that much snow, especially except if you're around the mountains. But then you have the whole hotel made of snow and ice.
Yeah,
it's pretty exclusive.
Yeah. So actually, we mentioned that, but Emre asks, how do you monitor when an aurora will be visible for a given night?
I'll send the link actually to Aurora service. There's my mouse there. There. Oh, there's extra O in the link. Sorry for that. I'll link another site where you can monitor the.
Did you send it in the chat?
Yes.
Okay. I don't see it yet.
I think there might be delay, but yeah, those two sites are for Aurora monitoring, and the most important thing is the KP index. The higher it is, the stronger the auroras are.
Yeah. We cannot see the links. Maybe if you guys, one of you can send it. One of them is Aurora service.
Well, if you can just send it to
just
us
Google it,
on
Aurora service.
Yeah.
I'm Googling it.
Yeah.
Aurora service, one of them, and the other one, I found it.
Yeah. Another one is Salamapaja.
Yeah, this is Thomas's website.
This one, right?
Yes, one of them is that one, Aurora service. I cannot find the other one.
I linked the other one to Skype.
Yes, I saw it. Yeah, can you guys?
Yes, Emre, that is a KP index. You can see on that Aurora service site.
Yeah. There is as soon as you open the Aurora service, you will see a meter showing the KP index. So yeah. So that there was actually some questions. You're welcome, Emre. And do you know how often these touches need repair? The ones in hotels, they are actually built for 1 year. When it's winter ends, they melt and they make another for the next year, right, Esa?
Yeah, pretty much. They might do some small maintenance for the rooms, but mainly it's whole winter.
Yeah. So they are only for one winter, for a couple of months actually. These hotels. Okay, so let's go to slide number 10. So this is Esa actually, and the food is the Turkish people will know when I say erişte. It's homemade pasta actually. So I brought some homemade pasta and cooked. And when we were eating, I realized that Esa knew this Salt Bay guy. Yeah. So I actually brought another thing, but I remember Esa could eat a little. Oli and Mikko didn't like it. It was some kind of soup, and Turkish people will know when I say tarhana. I brought some tarhana and I made tarhana, but they didn't like it. So, but Esa kind of liked it, but Mikko didn't like it. So.
Yeah, I pretty much like all food, so it wasn't like too extreme for me. It was good.
Yeah. So it was our last slide actually. Yeah, no, not last one. There's another one, 11. Let's talk about that photo. Where was this?
This was actually from the last evening we had in Lapland, and if you compare those auroras to the one with the cottage, you can say it's totally different level of auroras, and they were moving super fast. I took actually some time lapse from that evening as well.
This is the last night, right, Esa?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, this is actually the very last shot that I took before the auroras went down. It lasted like, I think, 30 minutes to 60 minutes.
Yeah.
So something like that, and then they stopped like completely. There was just slight dim light in the horizon, and that's all. But the sky was dancing like that for almost 1 hour.
Yeah, it was really amazing. I mean, I was like, which direction to look at, like, because they were everywhere.
Yes, usually auroras are in the northern sky, but we were in so north, and the auroras were so strong that they were above
on top
us.
Of us.
So yes, they were all around us. And
yeah, actually, you see auroras are like an arch, starting from between east and west, but on north of yourself. So, but this one was on top of us. So that's why we actually drove that night 100 kilometer north from Ullas, because there was clouds on at Ullas. So we had to go further north to Palas Tunturi, a place called Palas Monio, or this the nearest city called Monio.
And we were actually considering to go to Norway for clear sky, so it would have been like 300 kilometers more.
Yeah, luckily we had the clear sky there, but before we left home, we checked the weather. There was a line just on, the cloud line on top of Monio. So when we went there, we saw the sky was clear. So we stopped there. But like you said, we were actually going to go to Norway, but that was going to be a really long trip for the night. Yeah. So this was the last one. We have some questions. I just got an email saying the Swedish Institute of Space Physics is looking for a person interested in developing advanced tools for analyzing data from a unique scientific auroral imaging system. This person, Tuğçe, is actually is an astronomer, and she lives in Poland at the moment. She's from Turkey, so she has just received an email from Sweden. So Nebula Photos, Nico Carver is also here. Lovely, the shadow from the tree is great too. It looks like the snow is glittering. Yeah.
It was, and like we discussed earlier that it was nearly full moon and it was shining behind us, behind the camera at this point. And it's actually, when you compare shooting auroras to shooting Milky Way, moon is actually a pretty good thing because it illuminates the foreground.
Yeah, I actually have a photo from that night. It also got shortlisted in Royal Museum Greenwich Astronomy Photographer of the Year last year. So I don't know if we can show it, but there is half moon there. So like you said, there was almost 50% illuminated moon on the sky, and it was really helping illuminating the foreground. And by the way, welcome, Nico. It's good to see you here. We have a group in Instagram, astrophotographers from all over the world. Nico is also there. He's been a friend of mine since some couple of years. Yeah, so thanks for being here. Might be interested in changing fields maybe. Yeah, so maybe we can go to the yes, this screen. You guys say also some stuff, and then we can slowly finish our broadcast today. John, you're on mute.
You are on mute, I guess.
Oh, okay. Yeah, now it's on. I think it was great hearing you guys' adventures in Lapland, and I must say, I'm a bit jealous. I want to see the aurora, and yeah, I mean, after all this pandemic is over, and let's hope we can all meet together again and shoot this. And looking forward for such an experience. It's really unique.
Yeah, that'd be amazing actually. It's still in my bucket list to see the aurora, but the borealis one this time. And like the Finnish Lapland also looks great and it sounds great when we look at it. And as you mentioned, like the food is also tempting me a lot. And yeah, I wish we could meet it in there sometime.
Yeah. Gökhan Erdem was asking, when are you going there again? This question was for me, I guess. So as soon as possible, really, I would love to go there once again. Yeah, and maybe this time go further north. There are some other places like Kilpisjärvi, I guess it's one of the famous places in Lapland, right? Esa, the Sami people live there.
Yeah, there's plenty of other cities as well, like you mentioned, and you are the most welcome to Finland. And let me know when you're coming. I can help with arrangements and perhaps join myself as well.
Yeah, I'm sure if we come, Oli and Mikko would also like to come, so we could make a reunion, hopefully, one day. And you're also, I always tell you, you're always welcome to Turkey. Yeah. So we will need to go to Cappadocia.
Yeah, that is correct.
Yeah,
that's on my travel checklist.
Yeah. And thanks a lot. For joining. Oli says, let's make another trip when it is safe again. All welcome. Thanks, Oli. Yeah, I really cannot wait to go there again. I cannot. That was so nice. And Oli is a good cook, by the way. He loves cooking and he is good cook.
Wow.
Just like John, I guess.
He's also a rally driver.
Definitely.
Rally driver. Oh yeah, so you have the rally in Lapland, I guess. The World Rally Cup happens in Finland time to time.
Yes, we used to have it in Jyväskylä, but this year it was in Rovaniemi, and my friend was actually photographing and shooting videos from there.
Cool.
Yeah. Okay. So we showed Esa's social media accounts in the chat. So please give him a follow, and of course give us follows also.
That would be appreciated.
Yeah, and please like and comment under the YouTube video. This will be, of course, be on our YouTube channel. And thanks a lot for your time, Esa. I know you've been busy. It was really nice to talk to you. And let's hope that things will get better and we will meet again.
Yes, thank you very much for inviting me. It was my pleasure, and it was really nice to remember our Lapland trip.
Yeah. Actually, Oli and Mikko were also invited to this one, but they were shy to join. So, maybe one day they will also like to join.
Oli did participate though in the comments.
Yeah. I think Mikko is busy with the baby because he has a baby. He must be something like a little bit older than 1 year old, like my son. So say hi to him when you see him, or I will tell him myself in the Lapland Adventure group. Thanks a lot once again, and thanks all for watching us, and see you next week. And next week we will have a Turkish guest, and we will talk about some cameras, let's say.
Yeah.
Have a good evening, all.
Well, thanks for joining, guys. Esa, also, it was great to have you here, man. Thanks a lot for all of them. And it was great meeting you, man.
Thank you very much. Likewise.
Kiitos, Esa.
Kiitos.